Hello. Uh, so I'm basically going to talk about how it seems as if Hollywood is kind of imploding in on itself as of late, particularly since the beginning of this month, essentially. The whole Harvey Weinstein thing, and also Happy Halloween. Uh, I probably would be normally talking about a horror movie or something, but this is film related, and because this is within the movie industry, and it's probably more frightening than possibly that I could probably talk about, at least in the sense of entertainment, in that people in the entertainment industry are not very, not very good, or not very as respectable as once thought. Harvey Weinstein, has been taking advantage of young women who hope to act and be in movies, and if you go to him and you seem as you seem like his type, or just a woman in general. If you do things for him in a sexual way, you'll get some good parts. Yeah, not the most respectable guy. Then you have all those people like Matt Damon and Quentin Tarantino, who, with Matt Damon, he's I saw like an interview, I guess he heard things. He never really saw anything. He never heard anything substantial. Just for like rumors. So okay, whatever. He did like a few movies. I think he said he did like 3 movies after Good Will Hunting, which I love that movie. By the way, there's a lot of movies that Harvey Weinstein has produced that I actually enjoy, and I still do. Though there's always something about Harvey Weinstein that always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Um, Hearing out in terms of awards, I heard things like he bought his way for the films he's associated with to get Oscars and stuff, or at least at the very least nominations. So that was always kind of peeved me off. Here you have all these people who either don't get nominated, or if they do get nominated because somebody is in the camp of Harvey Weinstein, their chances of winning are better than, say, perhaps the right person that got nominated. And I already talked about Matt Damon, but then there is Quentin Tarantino, whose films I also enjoy. I love Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Basterds, Django Unchained, and so on. But then he goes and says, whereas Matt Damon said he just heard some things, he never saw anything. Apparently, Quentin Tarantino knew things, or knew things more than, or he knew things and was silent about. He should have said something that didn't. But then again, he's backing up his movies, and why say anything when, essentially, since at least Pulp Fiction, really, because he got Pulp Fiction produced without Harvey Weinstein, though I guess they kind of might have acquired that later on. But since Pulp Fiction onward, he's really produced essentially every film Tarantino's directed, and now I'm thinking that partnership's kind of gone. But always thought something was off about Harvey Weinstein. But then, when I heard about the sexual harassments and assaults, that didn't really surprise me, quite honestly. As much as the award thing of buying paying people to, at the very least, nominate the films he's produced, like if they don't win. While that always did bug me, this bugs me and annoys me a lot more. That so many people knew, or at the very least heard rumors, suspected things, but never said anything. And it's interesting, in 2012, when the year Seth MacFarlane hosted the Oscars, when announcing the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, like he and Emma Stone were there, and they like announced like, the nominees, like Anne Hathaway, Amy Adams, and Sally Field were some of the nominees. And after he listed them all, he goes, "Congratulations, you 5 women no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein." And people laughed. Maybe he made a joke out of some rumors he made, or he heard, not made, but they've been floating around, and he just made a joke out of it. Might not have known, but who knows? Maybe that was his subtle way of saying something, or it could be Seth MacFarlane being Seth MacFarlane, just making a joke off of a rumor. Speaking of Seth MacFarlane and jokes, as of recent, there's been, the whole Kevin Spacey situation. Well, way back when, there's a section in an episode where Stewie runs through a mall naked, saying, "Help, I just escaped from Kevin Spacey's basement, help!" And, that got people thinking, like, made a joke about Harvey Weinstein, and he made a joke years ago about Kevin Spacey, and these things start to kind of become true, because, Kevin Spacey doesn't know whether or not he doesn't remember throwing a 14-year-old guy on his bed and trying to seduce him, because the drone was like 30 years ago. Anthony Rapp, he's on the new Star Trek show. I haven't seen it, but apparently people are complaining about the SJW stuff. Don't know what to really say about that, but it doesn't seem to really sound like Star Trek, to me at least. Not the stuff I've seen Star Trek, but then again, I've never been the biggest Star Trek fan, but whatever. Apparently, this happened like in '88. Party with Kevin Spacey threw, because Rapp and some others were in this play. Well, Anthony Rapp got bored, so he went in Kevin Spacey's room to watch TV, and then it became apparent he was the only one left in the apartment, and then Kevin Spacey, he did what he did, or at least is alleged to have done, and basically Kevin Spacey addressed this on Twitter, saying all this, but then he goes and says stuff like, "Oh, I've been in relationships with men and women. I'm going to address some stuff that I've never had before, and I'm going to live my life now as a gay man." Well, good for you. Though that doesn't entirely put the gay community in a way in a certain good light, in that, or at least because how it used to be, people thought if somebody is gay, they're like, it's like pedophiles or something like that. Like they kind of, because they can't reproduce, they kind of go after like children, and they're just child molesters. And it's been some time, it's been a good long while where gays have been trying to say that's not true. Well, Kevin Spacey, with this allegation and him saying that he's gay, if this turns out to be true and it happened. Well, unfortunately, Kevin Spacey kind of gave some truth or validity of that old claim that people used to have, or the view of what people used to have on homosexuals. And that doesn't entirely put them in a good light, I don't see. Us, the gay community, what they've worked hard for to try and get all these rights and be like, no, we're not sexual deviants, we're not this and that. And then for this allegation to come from a high-profile actor like Kevin Spacey, and then him saying, "Oh, I'm gay," it kind of seems like, I'm gay. Can't really do anything about it. So, well, gee, thanks for throwing all those, or helping, again, give that validity of that claim, that old claim, giving some validity to that, to the bit of the gay community. Thanks a lot there, Kevin. I mean, I'm not gay myself, but, I've seen some people who have criticized us and who are gay, and they're just like, wow, thanks. I can only imagine that frustration that people would have. And, well, then there, of course, there's people who are coming in saying, it's great that he's, coming out and all that. It's like, we ignoring the sexual allegation? I don't think that's that important right now. A lot of people come out. There's been many people come out as gay anymore. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of gay people. This isn't anything new, but people are acting like that's what should be talked about, not the alleged sexual assault, harassment, whatever you want to call it. Because it could be, one could say it's a blurring the line between sexual harassment or sexual assault. But, it just seems like Hollywood, they're eating their own, particularly the Hollywood liberals. And again, I don't want to try and make this political at all, but you see a lot of that with the liberal side of things. The conservative side, the libertarian side are very quiet. The liberals tell you all of this and that, like respect women and stuff. Oh, well, then meanwhile, one of the biggest producers in the Hollywood industry is now, has been revealed to have been making sexual advances, and for some, having them perform sexual acts on them, and that's just wrong. But, and then also you have on this side, like, how, they say, like, gays aren't sexual deviants or any of that, but then you have a high-profile actor who comes out as gay, while previously in a statement said how he doesn't recall this alleged sexual assault, sexual harassment, and gives some validity of that old thought of homosexuals being perverts and deviants like that, and it's like you're not helping these causes you say you are for. If you're really for, if you were for gay rights, if you were for women's rights, you wouldn't be having high-profile people doing this thing. And even if they were doing it, you wouldn't have people hiding or keeping that a secret until it gets exposed. Because then other people have said, we've known this, we all knew this, Kevin. But the thing is, you're like, well, what did you know? That he was gay, that he might have done things to young men. What did you know? It's a very cryptic thing to say. And I could also say that Hollywood has been imploding even before all this. Um, I've mentioned before about the Hollywood studios getting involved and making some movies just bad. Like maybe there was a good story that you can see, but Hollywood studios get involved and things just don't look good. Like the film turns out awful. Now there are certain directors, Christopher Nolan, for instance, who has control, who has the backing of a studio, but he like runs the way he films, essentially in a way like a independent film. He has creative control, but he just has a bigger budget, and he's able to do a lot more. And also this year, in summer in particular, has been one of the worst years box office wise for films in like 15 or 25 years. I say that because I can't recall. There was something I saw some time ago, and then I was watching somebody talk about movies and stuff, and they mentioned the same thing. But I can't recall right off the bat. It'll probably come to me later after this is all over. But like, yeah, it might have been actually 25 years ago. Yeah, it was like for a while it was like the lowest year of money making for movies. It was the lowest summer as well. But this year, with the exceptions of like say Wonder Woman, Dunkirk, and It at the very end of summer, those are all big box office draws. People went and saw those movies over and over again. They made the studio a lot of money as well as the directors, you know, because I'm sure the director got a good portion of that. I know Christopher Nolan did. He got like the biggest kind of cut of a film since like Peter Jackson's deal with King Kong. Uh, but you know, I'm sure the director of It and director of Wonder Woman got some. You know that I saw Dunkirk. I didn't see It or Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is out. I'm sorry, my nose is itchy. Probably have to blow my nose a little later, but you know. But you know, I haven't seen Wonder Woman. I heard it's good, though some said it wasn't necessary. It's just a prequel. It was not needed. Well, from watching Batman vs Superman, there's a picture of Wonder Woman and looks like the cast, some of the main casts of the heroes of Wonder Woman are featured. But anyway, that's just my look and take on this whole implosion of Hollywood. It's been kind of going down for a while. Also, reboots and remakes are a big thing. Some reboots are good, some not needed. Some say the new Star Wars films are reboots in disguise. I'll let you know, I've talked about that before, and you can determine that as you will. But yeah, that's really all I want to say. Thank you for watching, and until next time, see ya.